Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi. I have a very special guest on here today. She's going to explain, tell you who she is, and we'll go from there.
Hi, my name is Sarah Yancey, and my daughter's name is Tammi Yancey Morrison. And it was amazing that at a point in my life where I'm a retired nurse, 50 years out, couldn't really just retire. And I couldn't figure out why I couldn't retire. All my friends could retire and just stay home and, do the usual retirement stuff, and I could not do that. I felt like I still had something to do. So when she told me about the DNA activation, I thought, maybe, I don't know. She's my daughter and she knows me well, and I don't really know how good this stuff is. And then all of a sudden I thought, okay, what do I have to lose? And then I said, well, if you want me to have this thing, just give it to me for Mother's Day. And she said, okay. So she did the activation, and it was so amazing that when she was doing the activation, I felt her when she came into my spirit. It was such an awesome experience because it had been so long since I felt that before. Because her grandmother, my mother, was a really spiritual person. And we would have exercises in spirituality, and she would say, well, did you feel that? And did you feel this? And we would be far away because we live far apart, and I could feel it. But over time, working and doing things, you just forget how to reach into your spirituality and feel your creative spirit that you have that is nestled in you, but you have just smothered it. You smothered it until you can't visualize, you can't actualize it anymore.
Yes.
So when I felt her into my spirit, I went into a mode, and a reflective mode is what I went into. And I said, well, I hope she doesn't find out things that's too bad, because you know what? I don't like defeat. But amazingly enough, when I read it the first time, it just clicked. The paper, the report just really came to me, and I just like held it to me, I just like grasped all the words and all the meanings. And then I started investigating it for myself, looking in Google and reading the people that she suggests that you read, and meditating a lot and learning how to just tell your mind enough is enough, you're out, and meditate. And you can meditate all day, all night, for seconds, for minutes. It's just so easy. Once you take control of your creative self and let yourself, your physical self, your natural self, know that your spiritual self is in control, then you are going to feel so amazing. And it opened up things to me that I knew, but I couldn't quite touch. And so once I realized that it wasn't that I was needing anything physically, I needed to re-engage with my spirit self. Thank you, daughter. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Mom. This was so amazing to me because I was initially nervous to do it, because typically the clients that I have worked with, I don't know them well. I think maybe a few, but not as well as my mom. And so for me, I was like, okay, I really wanted to be in authenticity, and I wanted to be able to make sure that I was connecting to spirit to get the messages, the channel messages that she needed, and not what I thought she needed. So I really had to dig deep in order to really be able to connect in that way. And so once I got over that and I got to the place where I said, okay, I just surrendered to spirit and to the flow, because that really is what we do when we do these activations. We just surrender to the flow of spirit, because it really is all spirit and none of me. I truly am the conduit. And so for my mom to get that type of revelation in this activation was so powerful for me, because I felt like, wow, I was able to help her in a way that she didn't even know she needed that, just like she said. And so just to be able to do that, I felt so good. And for her to get so much out of it and to actually recommend it to people that she knew, that to me was like one of the highest compliments. So I am so grateful. And for her to even be here on my show talking about how it was for her, it was like amazing. And the thing is we all have, you know, spiritual gifts. We all have things inside of us that, need to be unlocked. And DNA activation to me is one of the most amazing energy healings that I have ever experienced or witnessed, because I actually was a client before I became a practitioner. And I became a practitioner because of the experience that I had, and because of the openings and the the doors that were unlocked inside of me. And so that made me say, okay, I want to help other people in this way. So mom, how do you so as you were reading the report, because it comes with about a, what is it, about a 10-15 page report,
It does.
comes with a report. And so I encourage people to read it several times. But my mom
Right.
had a different,
Right.
what did you?
I said that you should put in big, bold languages that you should read this report every day for 1 month. And the reason being is because every time you read it, you get something more. You see a different way of looking at how your life is progressing, and you get more encouragement. It's something to be encouraged by a physical person, but
Yes.
have your creative spirit tell you you're doing great, you're wonderful, um, keep it up. It's just so amazing. And I could just see myself in the report. I could see, I wish I could read it. If I could go to one page. Let's see. You mind?
No.
So, um, there's one page on here where it says, trust yourself, trust, trust, trust. And being a nurse for so long, you know how if you've been practicing for a while, you know that things change so dramatically.
Yes.
You, one, just one example is when I first became a nurse, all insulin was in the refrigerator. And now hardly any are in the refrigerator. Some lab tests we would take, you would put them in the warmer and then you would send them out. Now they freeze them. So with the medical profession being so unable to be specific and stay the same, and they're
Yes.
always changing. And now we have, people suing because they had medicine for years and it's causing cancer. It makes you unsure of yourself. You just don't know how much it erodes your ability to trust yourself, because you're in
Yes.
a profession where you can't be trusted to take care of people. And that was one
Yes.
of the things that you do. You take care of people. So when I read the page and I started to highlight that page, but I did not. But it says in big, bold letters, trust yourself. And it says trust 3 times. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is what it is. You've got to just let go of all the feelings of insecurity, and I'm not sure if I Googled that enough. I'm not sure if I investigated that enough, or did I really do that? You've got to trust yourself, and not just yourself, your spirit. Your spirit is
Yes.
leading you. It can never lead you into a wrong place. And
Yes.
just one more little thing. When she told me she was doing cards and stuff like that, the old religious thing came up into me, and people, because she was my daughter, I trusted that. And because she was trained by my mom, I trusted that. And I said, this just got to be another facet of what creative spiritualism is. And so one of the things she says in here is that people that are religious are more not against this, but they don't have the knowledge of what it is, and so they fight against it all the time. They'll say, "Well, if you read cards, you're of the devil," and they believe that stuff. So when after she kept talking to me and telling me how she took me on her journey with her. Whenever she got trained in something, she would tell me about it, and we would talk, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's great," and not really believing it or thinking anything of it. And then my mom, believe me, my mom told me the same thing about me, um, so when I decided that I was going to do the DNA, have her do the DNA activation for me, then I realized that what I knew all along and what my mom taught us all along is that the creator is the creator. No matter what form he takes, no matter how he comes to you, if he comes to you, accept him, no matter what form it is. Because when you hear and you feel that creative part of you just open up, when you feel that, it could be from a person who you think is not really spiritual, but that's not up to you to think. It's up to
Yes.
you to just receive it and be blessed by it so that you can be happy. And my DNA, my full spirit activation said I should be happy all the time. And I am, let me tell you, I am being really, really happy. So happy. It is so amazing that every time I read this, I get a new and improved attitude. I get to be a snob, a spiritual snob. That's what it is. So that nobody can break my spirit. Nobody can tear me down. You can say whatever you like. I'm like, oh, okay. I just let it go because I know one thing about it. The creator made me to do certain things, and I'm
Yes.
going to do no matter what it is. Is that enough?
And that is no, that is powerful because you think about how many people out here in the planet don't have that type of actualization. They just don't know. And people are so bound and they're so stuck. I hate that word stuck, but it is. They're stuck and they don't want to open up to new things, or they don't want to see even inside of themselves, and they don't want to bring that out. And so I'm I'm just so excited just to be able to share this with you because I knew that it was going to do some things for you. Now what it was going to do, I didn't know. I didn't know because that's not my job.
Exactly.
It's not my job. My job is to do it and to present it and to, be the conduit between spirit and me and you. It's a triangle. And so I'm just grateful that you received it and that you're able to get so much out of it. It was just so encouraging to me because, I at first didn't even want to share it with you because I was like, well, I don't know how she gonna feel about it. yeah. So, because a lot of my super religious people are like, oh my God, what is she doing? But I'm at the point now where I don't care because I know that this is right. And I know that this is helping people, and again,
Exactly, because
being a nurse again, just like you said, we help people. That's what we do. But we second guess ourselves because shit changes all the time, and they, just like you said, before when I started in nursing, we didn't have to wear gloves to do shots. Now you have to wear gloves to give shots. And back then, if you wore gloves to give shots, they would write you up because they said that it made the patient feel bad because it's not invasive, but now it's the opposite. So you're always going along second guessing yourself in that. And so it's like when you're able to see that it's time to trust yourself. To me, it's nothing more amazing than that.
exactly, and it's I entreat the creative spirit to educate people who are in that super religious cluster, to allow them to see that there's more to it than that. That religion really compartmentalizes you. It
Yes.
compartmentalizes your thoughts. It makes you so, it's like a
Narrow mind.
horse with a, there you go. And even more than that, you can't even see it. So you can't even actualize it. You can't even think about it because you don't see it. And it's because
Yes.
so blinders. So when the horse has blinders on, he can't see.
Yes.
So he can't participate. He just does what you steer him to. And
Yes.
that's the way a lot of religions are, because they want you to think that this is the only way to get to God. And um it's really amazing that God never said that.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so people who, and then when you have the people who are not quite educated, they think that, Allah is not God, but Allah is just another word for
Yes.
God.
Yes.
And
Yes.
a lot of other languages that you don't know, that's their term. So, and they've been fed so much trash by religious people that it's really unsafe for us. But as we go on, and you go on, and people like you go on, if we entreat the Creator to reveal to them that there's more to it,
Yes.
more to that, you
Yes.
you can really, really know happiness. You can
Yes.
really, really know satisfaction. You
Yes.
can really actualize all that you want.
Hmm.
You can.
Yes. Yes.
Just have to get that full spirit activation done by Tammi Morrison.
Yes. Because it is going to open you up, so because not only do you get the DNA activation, you also get a chakra alignment and balance. And I actually explained to you in the report what happens when those particular chakras that I balance are out of whack. What it looks like in your body and for you, because that is huge, because people don't realize how important that is. You could be having all kinds of symptoms of things, and really it's just that you need to get your chakras in line. You need to get your chakras balanced, and I actually have people that come to me just to get that done. And so that, I think, is another thing that people push down, and they think that, I don't know, I'm not against medicine, of course. However, I do think there are other ways to handle things. And I think that sometimes people like you and I are sensitive to different medicines and stuff. We just can't take all that stuff.
Well, the thing about it is, before there was Western medicine, there were people all over the world taking care of their needs and themselves before this ever came about, before
Yes.
big pharma, and before every time you have a cold, you take some medicine. They would go out and they would get roots, and it would keep them from gaining weight. It would keep them from having a headache. It would take away the cold. My mother, before she passed away, she knew where to find sassafras tea. My brother. They knew where to find things in the countryside that you could use to take instead of the things that give you a side effect. Because I
Yeah.
will tell you, I told you the other day I had this, if I can speak medical stuff on here, I
Yeah.
had this really horrible bladder infection that just came out of me like pow, just hit me. Fever, chills, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, oh my God, now look at me. I gargle every morning with salt water to make sure I'm clear of mucus. I brush my teeth with baking soda. I do not use that toothpaste because it's too much stuff I can't spell in it. I drink a lot of water every day. So what is this? And so it was so painful that I fell back on modern medicine and I got me some medicine and I took it and the pills almost killed me. I thought I was gonna die. My heart was pumping so hard and I felt so dizzy and woozy. I was like, oh my God, the cure is killing me. And I know when mom used to give me potions that it never made me feel like that.
Exactly.
So the Eastern medicine, the African medicine, the from all over
All
the
the
places,
indigenous medicines. Yes.
right? All the indigenous medicines,
Yes.
they could cure you. And even now, you'll see stuff on the website that says this plant from Africa, which will make you lose so much weight and you'll never gain weight again. I'm like, well, let's just have the plant. What about let's get rid of the pill? Let's just grow that plant. But of
Right.
course that happened. And I'm not saying that I'm throwing sticks and stones at medicine, but what I'm saying is don't rely on what you see, rely on your creative spirit to tell you how to live your life. That is what you,
Yes.
I don't know why my nose is running. I think because of,
And that is that's amazing because that is what put me on this path because I was ready to find ways to help myself first to live free of all type of medicines and different ailments and dis-ease because so much of the dis-ease comes from emotional things. It comes from spiritual things. It comes from all of those things because grandma, before she passed away, she actually gave me Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. Now, I have since given that book to probably 3 or 4 people because I gave that one to somebody and then I bought another one and somebody else was talking to me and I gave that to them. So, I've given it away several times, but it was so real because she went into all the things emotionally that were the causes of some of the things that people are getting medicine for. Because what happens with modern medicine is they are not looking at the root of it. They don't give a shit about the root. They're trying to find out something to stop whatever symptoms you're having. And then when you go, they say, okay, well, we're going to try this. So they don't even know if that shit is going to work. That's the one thing. And so that was what put me on this path. And I started really diving deep into it. And when I found the DNA activation, it's like that was such a tool. It was such a tool because you don't even know that you need it until you get it. It when you go in and you remove all those seals and it unblocks all of your creativity and unblocks your gifts and the way that you look at things, just like you said, it changes your perspective. It is just amazing what
why
it
don't you
does.
say, why don't you say more about what a chakra is and how you um, break the seals?
So a chakra are our energy centers, and there are many of them. Although they'll tell you there's 7 major chakras, but there are lots and lots and lots of them. They're all over our bodies, but they're energy centers, and they just regulate the flow of energy in our bodies. And the seals that are on the DNA strands, there's the double helix. I'm sitting here visualizing it, but there's a double helix, and there's seals all along those strands that are placed there to block us and to keep us small and to keep us from stepping into our divinity, because really we are gods. We are gods. So the seals have been placed strategically on our DNA in order to keep us small, to keep us from realizing our full potential, to keep us from stepping into these places that, Spirit has already called us. And so when we do the activation, it's the most amazing thing because it's such an energetic activity where I can actually literally go in and I can see and visualize your chakras and I can visualize your DNA. And I actually take you to my healing grid, which is something that Spirit helped me to create, where I actually lie you down and I pull your DNA up so that I can see it. And I have the Spirit, I have Jesus and Archangel Michael are there generally, and then there are other guys that show up to help with this activation. And so it's so difficult to describe, but that is about how I can do it because it's all energy, and then once you get that and you're open to it, because that is the thing. Some people have come to me and they think that I have a magic wand and I can just wave shit away, and that's just not the case. But when they've come and they've been open, like you were, Mom, you are able to see all of the changes and you're able to feel it. And you can almost feel that flow of energy opening up within yourself.
I
So
can.
that is like so major.
I can. And when religious people can make a reference to that, like you said, your chakras are blocked when I don't exactly know so I don't remember exactly what happened, but when God sent some healing or something to a prophet, and then he started crying out saying that he didn't get it, and they said that Satan had blocked it. So I took that to say, okay, so he blocks, the evil spirit blocks your chakras. And if that's the case, then you definitely need to get them unblocked. And I'm going to tell you, just as just the person, Tammy's mom, of course, but that's a blessing for me because I fully enjoy seeing her grow the way she's growing. She is just grown by leaps and bounds in her ability to be the conduit that she is. And I want to tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
That means so much to me. That means so much to me. I am just over the moon excited just because you wanted to actually come on here and do my podcast, because it means so much to me, because people tell you all the time that they appreciate you or they love you, but love is an action word. And so for you to come on this podcast to share about your activation that I was privileged to be a part of, I'm so grateful, and this is a place that I stay, just a place of being grateful, just grateful to be here doing what I'm doing, just, to be able to help other people to step into, things that they may not have even believed that was possible for them, and that is like the most major thing. It's like the aha moments are so many. I have people that have, wanted to have a relationship, and not long after they had their activation, it happened because they began to see things in a different light. It is just amazing. People that have walked away from 20-year careers that they have been wanting to, after they got their activation, they were able to see, how they could leave that thing, because, a lot of times you feel blocked and you feel like, I'm stuck here. I can't go because I've been doing this so long or whatever. And that lights my fire, because I think that is just what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be doing what it is that we desire to do, not what we think we have to, and that is like amazing. And the fact that you come on here, Mom, I'm just, oh God, You got my heart just bum bum bum.
Mine is too. I want you to let you know that. And I said, and then the closer it got, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't go get my makeup. I didn't go get that. And my hair dropped because it was raining. I mean, pouring. I had to put it in a ponytail. And I was like, oh well. This is not about what I look like. It's what I feel. And I feel magnificent. I feel like the chakras have been broken. I feel like I could fly to the moon if I wanted to. I feel like nothing can hold me back, hold me down, and that whatever I step and try, whatever I put my hand to, it is going to prosper. And when
Yes.
you feel like that, you don't need makeup. You don't need
You
a
don't need it.
hairstylist. I
You
don't.
don't need it.
Oh,
No, I had somebody laughing. I have people approach me, want to do Mary Kay and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, you watch me on Facebook, right? Do you ever see me with a whole bunch of makeup on? No. You see me with some lip gloss. So if you want to sell me something, sell me some lip gloss. Don't come at
yeah.
me about no foundation and all that other crap. I said, because I don't use it. So there's no need.
Yeah, give it
But
to those who need it.
yes, I was like, I'll put you out there. If you want to come on the show, you can talk about it. I said, but I'm not gonna wear that. But
Mm.
I'm just I'm so excited. But yeah, so what if you had to say what um the most
Benefit
profound effect? Yes. Yes.
the most, and it is profound, freedom.
Yes.
You just don't know how entrapped you are about by things around you. And one thing that I was impacted with is that I was, a litigator at heart, always finding the thing, trying to prove you guilty, without a reasonable doubt. And so my spirit made known to me that you don't need to do that. That's not something you need to do. You need to just relax.
Yes.
You know what it really means to relax. It's not like go on vacation or anything like that. It means that your whole mind, your body, your psyche, your spirit is just free.
Yes.
You don't have to monitor this, or because for years I was a nurse manager and I had to monitor that and make sure that ran and make sure staff did this and that. And it became a part of me. And then, your dad's a judge, so that makes it super duper. He's in the house with me, so that spirit is there. And so the freedom of not ever having to monitor anybody, just love them.
Yes.
Just give them your time if you have it, and if you don't, make another time. But you don't have to. You just don't. And I was always in that hot seat where I had to. And that's the most astounding feeling. I don't know if you can see it on me,
Yes.
but it is, thank you.
You're welcome. You're glowing. Yes, that's the thing, because it's like all of a sudden you're not on the hamster wheel,
Exactly.
and you're not looking at people and judging them, and you're not wondering, what's going on in people's lives. I mean, you're just being, and that is to me, that is the most amazing thing, because I feel like that's what keeps people alive and healthy. It's just being, just living in that place of flow, so that you can just, allow things to flow through you. You don't get involved in, crazy things. And that is, that's so,
Did you see that?
yeah.
That's one of my friends.
Well, that's so awesome. I'm so excited.
I thought they can only see it tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess if they had the link and they clicked in. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, awesome.
But yeah, so I'm so grateful, and I'm so excited just for being able to do this, being able to do this work, being able to do it for you. I mean, that just warms my heart, because to be honest with you, I knew that there was something else I was supposed to do in this life, and it wasn't to be somebody's nurse for 20, 30 more years. So,
Got you beat.
But I wanted to help people too, and I
Right,
felt
exactly.
like, I was called in that area, and I knew that some of the things that my grandmother imparted in me was so that I could do this work. I just didn't know in what way it was going to be. So I'm super grateful, to be able to do this, and also, because I feel like doing this honors her legacy, because she was such an amazing woman, and I actually am writing a book about her. So I'm super excited. Tentatively, it's called Passing the Pearls.
That is a wonderful title.
I thought so.
Yes.
So
and so appropriate.
Exactly. I was like,
and look at what I'm wearing.
See what I mean? So I'm super grateful about that. And I just want to say thank you so much, Mom, for allowing me in your energy, and also just for coming on here and sharing, what it felt like for you. Because I think that is like key, that people want to know this. They want to know, what's it going to feel like for them, and, what are they going to get out of it? Because people look at it and they say, oh, well, I can get a DNA activation on YouTube. And I said, well, you might could. I don't know about that. I said, I couldn't. Didn't work for me. I said, but it might work for you. Yeah. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to share. And if you would like to come. If you don't, don't.
And anything that important, you just don't want to YouTube it.
And that's the way I felt about it. I was like, I don't know if I want YouTube in my energy,
They might mess something up.
Right? They might set it to some algorithm or something.
Oh, goodness.
Right. So I am so grateful that my mom has joined me on this show. This has been Straight Out of Savannah, talking with Tammi, with my guest, Sarah Yancey, my mom. And she's come on to share about her full spirit activation, which included a DNA activation. She got a crystal alignment card, as well as chakra balance and alignment. And also, I just, and that was something that I felt was important to share. What does it look like when those particular chakras were out of alignment? Because a lot of times we don't know, people don't know. And there's so much information out there, and people are looking at things. And, for me, because I like to research and I want to know, and I want to share the information that is best and appropriate, that is what I've done. So I want to just invite you, if that is something that you would like to do, you can send me a private message. You can comment below wherever you watch this video or audio, as it were, because this is going to be on YouTube channel, and also on Anchor, Spotify, Radio Breaker, Google, and Apple Podcasts, and any other place where podcasts are. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi.